Now we will go to the sigmoid column. Now as the sigmoid column, sigmoid colon, sigmoid colon is a part of that of the large intestine, that which will be going to start from lower part of the water, that of the descending colon. It starts somewhere else at the level of the water left, anterior superior iliac spine. From that it will be going to descend down with little forward projections. So this is what? Downward and little forward projection. Then it will be the water straightway down and back. So to end in upper part of the water, that of the rectum. Now this sigmoid colon, it will be there almost all in the water, that of the left iliac fossa. Now this thing, when it will be running, it will be going to cross, or it will be going to traverse 40 centimeter. So this is the length of that. Now this thing, when it will be traveling, it will be going to travel first forwards, downwards, and then backwards. So they are the three phases. This is the first phase, this is the second phase, this must be the third phase of the course of the sigmoid colon. Now this sigmoid colon, it is covered by the water, that of the, where you can say, peritoneum. Not only the what parietal, but also the visceral. Parietal, when it will be going to cover, it will be going to cover the what, that of the part when the descending and goes and gets attaches to the, not only the greater pelvis, but also the what, that of the lesser pelvis, very close in connection with the what, that of the, you can say, sacrum and the sacroiliac joint of the left side. And then visceral, when it will be going to finish the what, that of the, you can say, right and left extensions of the water, that of the mesentery, it will be going to come from the right and from the left. It encircles and goes once again back to get attaches to the water respective sacroiliac joints, where it will be going to form the what, sigmoidal mesocolon. Left is a little bit shorter, right is a little bit longer. That will be there. That is called as the sigmoidal mesocolon. That will be there for this. That is the peritoneal reflections. Then when you tell about the what relations, you have to take a cut. You have to take a cut and then you have to study. So this is the sigmoid colon. Sigmoid colon. Now sigmoid colon. Now you will be going to have the water posteriorly. So this is what posteriorly. It is related to, one is the water, that of the sacral plexus, of nerves. So this is the thing. Then you will be going to have one muscle, that is the piriformis. Then the ureter will be there of lower abdominal part of the ureter, lower abdominal part of ureter of left side. Then you will be going to have the what, internal iliac vessels. So internal iliac vessels. So this is the what, internal iliac artery. So this is the internal iliac So this will be the posterior relation. Now after having the posterior relation, you will be going to have the what lateral relation. Now the lateral relation of the what that of the sigmoid colon, you will be having the first is the what obturator nerve of left side. Left side. Then you will be going to have the what is said to be as the external iliac vessels. External iliac vessels. This is what the external iliac arterium. This is the external iliac vein. Apart from that, external iliac group of lymph vessels and the nodes. So this will be there. So this is what the thing laterally. Then you will be going to have the what here ovary in female, that to what left side, in ovarian fossa, it is lost. Then you will be having in male ductus deferens. It will be there in the water male, that to what left side of ductus deferens. So this is the thing. Then you will be going to have, that is what is said to be as lateral wall of the true pelvic cavity. This is called as the lateral wall of true pelvic cavity. So this will be the thing. Now the question comes, what will be there above and what will be there below? Above the water that of the sigmoid colon here, so you can take this here. Above you will be having a water that of the coils of the water that of the ileum. Above coils of ileum above, this is the relation. Now what you will be going to have below? Below means at this point, below you will be having a two, one will be the what urinary bladder in male, and uterus, that to lower part of uterus in female, lower part of the uterus in female. So this is what the relation. Now after having had this, now you have to go to the what, its internal of the what, that of the sigmoid colon is same as that of the other portions of the what, that of the large intestine, such as the cecum, ascending colon, right colic flexure, transverse colon, left colic flexure, and the what, descending colon. Those are the what, serous, subserous, then the what, that of the muscular, outer, longitudinal, inner circular, and then you will be going to get the what, that of submucosa and the mucosal lining. So that will be there. Then this part of the what, that of the peritoneum, it is this part of the what, sigmoid colon, it is covered by the what, peritoneum, definitely. So peritoneal relation of the what, sigmoid colon, you will be having a sigmoidal mesocolon, that is the one, and then you will be having on either side sigmoidal pouches, parasigmoidal pouches. Okay, that's all the thing about the relations. Now you have to go to the what, blood supply. Blood supply for the what, that of the sigmoid colon is by the what, sigmoidal arteries. Now sigmoidal artery is the what, this is what, the inferior mesenteric artery. Now this is the sigmoidal artery. Sigmoidal artery will be having a ascending and the what, descending, or superior and inferior you can call. Now these you can say branches will be having a fine, and then they will be going to enter by means of piercing the serous, subserous, outer longitudinal, inner circular, and goes to the what, submucous, mucus to the what, submucous to the what mucosal. So the blood supply will be there. Venous drainage is also the same. That of the what inferior and superior sigmoidal. This is the sigmoidal. Sigmoidal goes into the water that of the inferior mesenteric veins. So this is the venous drainage. Now coming to the lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage of the sigmoid colon is much more rich. Now this will be going to have the what superficial and deep lymphatic. It will be going to run, or it will be going to drain from the internal and going to get attaches to the water that of the superior and inferior, which will be there afferent and different to the nodes which are there hand in hand with those ascending and the descending branches of that of the sigmoidal arteries, then into the sigmoidal and goes into the water that of the entire lymph vessels and the lymph nodes which are present all along with the what inferior mesenteric vessels in the mesentery. Then it goes into the water that of entire, you can say, mesenteric group of lymph nodes and the lymph vessels. There it will be going to share to the water that of the splenic, pancreatico-splenic, pancreatico-duodenal, and goes into the, there only you have got a retrogastric, gastroduodenal, and then it goes into the water that of the veins which will be there, lymph vessels which will be there along with that of the left celiac, before that intestinal, and then into the water that of the left celiac into the water cisterna chyli. So like that way it is the lymphatic drainage. Nerve supply for this, it is same. You will be going to have the what sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Now that parasympathetic, it is nothing but the water that of the bodily segmented part which will be there here. Those are called as what is said to be as you can say bodily segmented. Those are the spinal, pre and the post ganglionic fibers are there. Now these pre and the post ganglionic fibers, they are the portions of the what spinal. Now you will be going to have the what that of the parasympathetic coming from the right and the left vagus. Left vagus it will be there behind, right vagus, left vagus will be there in front, right vagus will be there behind. Then it will be going to run all the way down and then gets attaches to the what pre and the post ganglionic areas of the water that of the spinal, where it will be going to join and then give rise to the fine filament. They are called as the what colonic fluxes. Now these colonic fluxes are the mixtures of cranial and the spinal. From that it will be going to run area between the what sympathetic gangliona and the what spinal from there, and then after also that will be there sympathetic. They together it is called as the autonomic or the craniospinal. So this is what the nerve supply. After having the nerve supply, you have to go to the what development. Development of the what that of the sigmoid colon is by the what hindgut, as because this sigmoid colon is supplied by that of the inferior mesenteric artery. Inferior mesenteric artery. And the water drainage is by the water that of the inferior mesenteric vein. Lymphatic drainage is by the water that of the inferior mesenteric group of lymph nodes. And blood supply is by the nerve supply is by the water autonomic as usual. That is by the colonic fluxes, and that colonic fluxes is the what mesenteric fluxes. So this is what you will be going to get into that. So after having this nerve supply, you have nerve supply. After having had the water that of the development, you have to go to the your applied anatomy. Applied anatomy for the water that of the sigmoid colon. Sigmoid colon applied anatomy is the same as that of the what other part. Sigmoidal ulcers, they are called as the what ulcers in the sigmoid colon, or it is called as the what that of the inflammation of the colon, sigmoid colon. It is also called as a what colonic colitis. So inflammation of the sigmoid colon mucosal, that is called as the colitis, sigmoidal colitis, ulcers, sigmoidal ulcers or colonic ulcers. Then the cancer of the water that of the sigmoid colon, tuberculosis of the water sigmoid colon. With this, sigmoid colon is ended, leaving apart histology of the what? Sigmoid colon. Histology of the sigmoid colon will be going to deal hand in hand with the what? That of the entire cecum histology, ascending histology, left colic, right colic and the transverse colon, and then the descending with that. So with this, abdominal part of the large intestine is got finished. After having had this, now what one must know? How you have to differentiate the water that of the, you can say, small intestine from the water that of the large intestine. Small intestine, it is having a mesentery. But whereas the entire, you can say, large intestine is totally fixed. Now this fixation is because it doesn't have the what, any of the mesentery. So mesentery allows the what, that of the movement. So jejunum and ileum, they are the most mobile part and they are the most fixed part, exception being in the small intestine, duodenum. Okay. Then the development of the water, that of the jejunum and ileum, part of the small intestine, second and third, they will be going to get developed from the midgut. But whereas this large intestine has got the what, dual development. Appendix, cecum, ascending colon, right part of the transverse colon with the right colic flexure, it is developed from the what, midgut of the endoderm. While the left colic flexures are descending colon and then sigmoid colon, left part of the transverse colon, it is developed from the hindgut. But transverse colon, what is there? It is the mixture, midgut and the hindgut. Right part is by the midgut, left part of the transverse colon is by the hindgut. So this is the difference, chief. Now, as is the development, so is the blood supply. So, blood supply for the what, jejunum and ileum, that by the superior mesenteric. While colonic blood supply, it is by the mixture, it is a dual. Appendix, cecum, ascending colon and the right colic flexure and the right part of the transverse colon is by the what, that of the superior mesenteric artery, while the left part of the transverse colon and then left colic flexure, splenic, that is, and the descending and sigmoid is by the what, inferior mesenteric artery. Then you have got the what, other things. Lymphatic, venous drainage. Venous drainage is correspondingly right part of the transverse colon, right colic flexure, ascending and the cecum and the appendix is by the what, superior mesenteric vein. Left part, it is by the what, that of the left part of the transverse colon, left colic flexure or the splenic, descending and the what, sigmoid is by the inferior mesenteric drainage, inferior mesenteric veins. So this is what, how you will be having the dual venous drainage and even the arterial supply, which has been already explained. Depends upon that, the lymphatic drainage is also the right part of the transverse colon, right colic flexure, that is hepatic, ascending colon, cecum, appendix, that is by the what, superior mesenteric group of lymph nodes, lymph vessels. But left part of the water, that of the, you can say, transverse colon, left colic flexure or the splenic, descending and the sigmoid is by inferior group of lymph nodes and the lymph vessels. So that is, nerve supply is superior mesenteric fluxes of nerve and the inferior mesenteric group of nerves. But in toto, it is the mesenteric or the autonomic, what we can say. This is how you will be going to get the what, difference between, this is the what, large intestine. Small intestine, nerve supply, it is by the what, mesenteric, because it is supplied by the jejunal and the ileal nerve, mesenteric fluxes. Then you will be having a venous drainage, jejunum and the what, ileal veins. Lymphatic drainage, jejunal group of lymph nodes, ileal group of lymph nodes, which will be there in connection with the superior mesenteric, that is by the midgut. So this is what the major difference. Then location wise difference, jejunum and ileum, they are there in the what, almost all in the what, lumbar region, umbilical region and the hypogastric superior. Okay. While the large intestine, it is confined to right iliac fossa, right lumbar region, right hypochondriac region. From right to the left, it comes into the what, umbilicus, goes to the what, left hypochondriac and then left lumbar region location wise, and then sigmoid will be there in the what, left iliac fossa. So that is the location wise difference. Whereas large intestine shows Taenia coli are absent in the jejunum and ileum. Circulations are present in the large intestine, but that is absent in jejunum and ileum. Appendages epiploicae, they are very much rampant in the what, entire you can say course of the what, large intestine, but this appendages epiploicae, they are not going to get anyway in the jejunum and ileum. But jejunum and ileum, they are thrown into the folds, they are thrown into the coils. Now this folding or coiling will be not found in the large intestine, but that large intestine has got the circulations. So these are the difference. Now difference of the large intestine to the small intestine, location wise, development wise, then vascular supply wise and the vascular drainage wise, nerve supply wise, that is over. And gross features of small intestine to the large intestine is over. Now only the remain histological difference between the what, that of the small intestine to the large intestine. So that will be going to deal when the histology of the what, colon is finished. Internal cut section wise difference, large intestine to the small intestine. Jejunum and ileum, they have got the mucosal folds, very much fine, and they are arranged, those villi very much close in contact in jejunum, ileum, they are rarefied. Lining of those mucosal folds, intestinal folds, by the intestinal glands, jejunal gland, Leberkans gland, but where there is the ileum, you will be going to have a cracks. Now these things internally in the mucosal folds, here they are very much rarefied here and there. Then you will be going to have the what, submucous vessels are there here, respective vessels in the colon and in the jejunum and in the ileum, respective. Then you will be going to have a muscular, there also you have got a longitudinal, here also you have got the longitudinal in the large. Circular are there in the water, that of the, you can say jejunum and ileum in the small intestine, here also they are there. But the area wise coverage in the jejunum and in the ileum, circular are thicker, longitudinal are also little bit thicker in the jejunum, less thicker in the water, ileum. But that thing will be not going to get here in the water, colon. But as it proceeds further towards the descending sigmoid and then into the rectum anal, they may be going to become more bit. Then you have got the water subserous. Subserous, the same arterial, arterioles, venules, lymph vessels, lymph nodes, sympathetic nerve filaments, they are there. Same. Those are the jejunal, ileal in the small. But in the water colonic, lymph vessels which are there in that entry in the different parts, they are there. On the right part, left part, inferior mesenteric, superior mesenteric, respect to the various parts of the colon. Those are the difference. So internal you have told, histological difference, and the subserous will be all the way same, flattened endothelial and mesothelial. Flattened endothelial will be the parietal, flattened endothelial, mesothelial is by the visceral portion of the peritoneum, that is the serous. Histological difference, when the histology will be going to take at that point, I will be going to cover that. Histological difference between the what? Large intestine to the small intestine, or reverse of that, small intestine to the large intestine. With this, leaving apart the histology of the colon is finished. Thank you for hearing patiently about the colon. Thank you.